I served as a student church leader while I was in the university, and it really changed my life. Not entirely in the way you expect or you think it did, but it absolutely did change my life. It left me with lessons. It left me with certain struggles that almost broke me. And today, I want to talk about it honestly and openly. Actually, I think for the first time. Yeah, so welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ezeh, and if you don't know me, I am a multimedia creative, and this is my YouTube channel where I share my opinions, where I share thoughts, where I share happenings, where I share events, basically about faith, about life, about love, and everything in between. Basically, I like to say that. So I had quite an experience when I was in the university. That's the story I want to share on this video. Usually I like to script my videos, but I did not script this because I just want to be talking straight from my heart, because I'm going to be sharing something that I'm very sure a lot of people go through this, but not many people talk about, especially guys. I don't think guys talk about this. I think guys that go through what I went through, or that have gone through what I went through, don't really talk about it, and I'm not sure why. Maybe because of this machoism or something, but I'm going to talk about it. Now, I schooled in Oduduwa University, which is a private university in Osun State, Nigeria. And I was a member of one of the biggest fellowships, if not the biggest, on the campus at the time. So the first year I served as an executive of the fellowship. I was the music director. However, after that year, I was appointed or selected as the president of the fellowship. When I was selected as the president of the fellowship, I got a little bit scared. I remember that day when they called me out, myself and the other executives that were selected that day. I mean, I was in tears. I was literally crying. A full grown man like me, I was literally crying. I was like, Omo, I don't think I can do this. I was really skeptical. I remember standing up on the altar there. I raised my head and I saw the whole church staring at me, and I'm like, no, I can't do this. Like, I really can't do this. There has got to be a mistake somewhere, but I prayed and I received strength. I felt God, strengthened me and, gave me a word. I think that was very important. God gave me a word, and then we went into it. The first thing I have to say is I didn't enjoy it as much as I did when I was music director. First reason, because obviously I love music, right? I really wanted to be involved in music, with music. But second reason was because dealing with people at that point in my life, a younger age, of course, I'm still young, but I was much younger then. It was difficult at the start, having to deal with people, not just deal with people, deal with leaders, And incidentally, at the same time, we also had in the school a joint campus Christian fellowship. So for those of you listening who have been involved in, school fellowship setting before, I mean, you would know what I'm talking about. I was also appointed the vice president in the joint campus Christian fellowship. So it was a lot of responsibility. And this is me, a passionate person. I want to give 110% to everything I do. Whether I like it or not, whether I enjoy it or not, I want to give everything. And there were times where I wasn't particularly enjoying what I was doing. There were times where it was hard. There were times where, I had to put the well-being of the fellowship of the church above my own well-being, above my studies, above, everything. Like, there was just lots of sacrifices, but that wasn't the problem. That wasn't really the problem. That was something I knew that I was going to do. It was expected of me. I knew that I was going to do that. So that wasn't the problem. The real problem came when I handed over. So that was mid 2023, when I handed over. So I handed over as president of my fellowship and as, vice president of the joint fellowship, right? And I remember that day I went home, sat on my bed. I remember very clearly I sat on the bed and I wasn't crying, but I felt like crying. I felt like crying not because I was sad that I would be leaving the school, because that's a good thing, but I felt empty. I felt used. I felt broken. I felt like that was all to my life. I felt that was it. I clearly remember that for about a week or two, I struggled to pray. I struggled to face God because I was sort of angry with God. I think those experiences broke me. I couldn't pray. I couldn't get myself up to do what I would usually do. My usual devotion, I couldn't get myself up to do it. I fell into depression. And it was tough. I was asking myself, is this the end? I mean, you've given everything serving God in the fellowship, and now you feel so empty. I didn't feel like I had any more direction in my life. I didn't know what I was going to do next. Of course, I'm going to be writing my final exams in a few days. Okay, I'll leave school, fine. And after that, what next? Like, I didn't know what came up next. I felt drained. I think that's the word. I felt so drained. I'm sharing this story because, like I said at the start of the video, this is something that happens to a lot of people. You see, the church has perfected the art of using men. Whether they are prepared or not, the church has perfected the art of using men, and would I say dumping them afterwards. And we must do better, especially young people. Now, it took me a while before I got my feet, and I thank God for my mentor and my church. We are more preoccupied with what men have to give the church than what the church can do for men. I don't know if that makes sense, especially in terms of shepherds now, in terms of men of God, pastors. There are many men of God who are suffering in silence, and everybody expects them to just keep quiet because they are pastors. The church system, the fellowship system, so to say, in many universities in Nigeria is flawed, very flawed. And I know that it's amazing to have, and I know that there are many men of God who have come out of it. In fact, I can start mentioning names of men of God who were, student leaders in their fellowships while on campus and are now pastors and, doing well for the kingdom today. I know. But I'm saying, especially recently, I'm all for giving young people leadership opportunities. But how about we prepare them well for it? How about we help them and not just using them to help the student populace on these universities? Because that's what I felt happened to me. And that's why I got depressed after I finished. This is not a video to tear the church down or say this. And this is a call for us to do better. So I'm not pointing accusing fingers at anybody. I'm saying we can do better. And I'm saying we put pressure on young people, expecting them to be something that they never prepared themselves to be. And when they are done, we just let them go like that. It destroys lives. And there are people who have been through what I went through and didn't come out of it. There are people who were so fervent when they were on campus. There were people who, were so hot for God when they were on campus. But the moment they stepped out, life took them away. They're alive, but they're just walking dead. They are numb. They have no emotions. They feel nothing for God, for the church, for the kingdom. It's all gone. That passion, that fire they had when they were on campus is gone. This is one of the major reasons why these things happen. I'm getting emotional. So maybe that's where we should wrap up this video. And listen, if you're going through something like this currently, if you are in this phase of your life where you feel used, maybe not even by the church, it might be by an individual or by a group of persons in your life, maybe even by your family even. You feel used, you feel empty. This is the exact moment of your life that you need God the most. And the things I would recommend that I did, is to first of all be honest with yourself. Then when you're honest with yourself, be honest with God I mean, God knows our heart, God knows what we're going through, but sometimes we need to fully express it to God. Go to him and absolutely pour out your mind. If it means that it's good, it might even feel like you're shouting at God sometimes, right? Express yourself, pour it all out, everything, in tears. Sometimes it might even be laugh. Just pour it all out, and you would find peace. I promise you would find peace. And the third thing I did that really helped me, like I shared earlier, was find yourself a community that would nurture you again, that would nurture you the way you need to be nurtured at this point in your life. Find yourself a Bible believing church, or a community of believers, or a group of friends that love you and that will contribute to your progress and joy. These are the things that I feel that if you do, you're going to come out of that phase. It might be a while, it might take a while, but you will definitely come out of it. And I thank God for my healing. I thank God for helping me to stand. It took me a while. It was a journey, but God has helped me to stand, and I am still standing by the grace of God. And if you've experienced something like this, or you know someone who has, I'd love to hear of your story as well. So drop it in the comments, and let's have a chat. I'll be in the comments as well. We can have a chat about this, and let me know if you share my sentiments. And if conversations like this, real open, honest conversations like this matter to you, please do well to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and drop a comment like I said, and expect more content like this from us. It's going to be real. Like I said in the intro video I made earlier, it's going to be real. I'm all for having conversations that we like to avoid, especially in the church. There are certain conversations we like to avoid. Like this conversation is something we like to avoid. I'm not going to avoid. We are going to have it on this channel. We're going to have it. So like the video, subscribe, and let me know if you enjoyed the video in the comments. Share it to your friends as well. Let it, someone might be going through something like this. Do well to share it to them, and help them to stand. Thank you for watching. My name is Goodness Ezeh. See you on the next video. Adios.